We don't know how to explain to the Canadian government that throwing money at Indigenous families is not the way to help or support them in any sense of the word, but they continue to do so without ever acknowledging the fact that we as Canadians have failed the Indigenous people, constantly ignoring their rising complaints, undermining their struggles, complaining about how they aren't being active members of society when we are the ones inhibiting them from ever advancing. When they actually begin to fight for their rights, we tell them that they have been given enough help and too many chances, and we are suddenly angry that these people want to be treated as equals. This has to change. So this is what certain parties are claiming what they have done regarding Indigenous issues. The Liberal Party of Canada claims they are developing a process for an accelerated consultation with full participation of First Nation communities to rewrite existing legislations with the intention of encouraging and supporting the development of sustainable First Nation communities. The Conservative Party of Canada has donated $500 million over 7 years to on-reserve school infrastructure and $34 million over 5 years to help the Canadian Environmental Assessment Agency support consultations with Indigenous peoples over natural resource projects. In other words, they just threw money at the problem. Lastly is the NDP Party of Canada, committed to creating a cabinet-level committee chaired by the Prime Minister to ensure the NDP government would not do anything without respecting treaty rights, inherent rights, and Canada's international obligations to its First Nation peoples. While these parties recognize the problems facing First Nation people and promise to do something about these problems, nothing beneficial has occurred. Simply empty promises announced by political leaders to ensure their status in their parties. While the problem lies in the government, we as a people must come together as one to defend and uphold the rights of the First Nations. If we don't, who will?